All right, let's dive into one of the biggest debates in the world of personal finance. We're putting two absolute giants head to head. Robert Kiyosaki, the guy behind Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Morgan Housel, who wrote the incredible The Psychology of Money. You see, their ideas, they're like two completely different maps to a rich life. So let's get into it.
The whole debate really boils down to this one simple question. Is building wealth all about the mechanics, the specific formulas and actions you take? Or is it all about your mindset, your behavior, and the psychology behind how you handle money? That's the puzzle we're going to try and solve today.
Think of it this way. On one side, you've got Kiyosaki, who I like to call the architect. He gives you this bold, aggressive blueprint for literally constructing wealth. And on the other side, you've got Housel, the gardener, who teaches you the patience and wisdom you need to cultivate your wealth over a lifetime. Two really powerful ways to think about it, right? So first up, let's talk about the architect himself, Robert Kiyosaki. His whole philosophy is about one thing: action, bold, decisive action. And the goal is pretty straightforward. Get rich and break free from that traditional 9-to-5 grind of just working for money. Now this idea right here, this is the absolute cornerstone of Kiyosaki's entire universe. He says the rich, they focus on one thing: buying assets, things that literally put money into your pocket, like a rental property that brings in cash every month. But most other people, they buy liabilities that just drain money out of your pocket. Think car payments, credit card debt. It seems so simple, but wow, it's a profound way to look at things. So his blueprint is crystal clear. Stop working for money and start making your money work for you. And how do you do that? Well, you get yourself a real financial education, and you use it to go out and acquire assets, often using what he calls good debt, to build up those passive income streams. It's a total entrepreneurial mindset, all about taking those calculated risks to finally escape what he famously calls the rat race. And now let's flip the script completely and talk about the gardener, Morgan Housel. He has a totally different perspective. He says, look, getting rich is one thing, but staying rich, that's a whole different ballgame. For him, wealth isn't about spreadsheets. It's about psychology, patience, and how you behave with your money. A massive idea in Housel's world is what he calls financial unbreakability. And what does that mean? Well, it's not about chasing the highest returns. Not at all. It's about building a financial life that's so strong, so resilient, that you can survive any market storm without being forced to sell your stuff at the worst possible time. It's that survival that lets the magic of compounding do its work over decades. So you see, Housel's principles are all internal. The real work is in your head. It's about managing your own emotions, that greed and fear that can derail even the smartest people. And maybe the most important part of his philosophy is figuring out what enough actually means to you. That way, you avoid that dangerous, endless chase for more that has ruined so many people. Okay, now that we've got both playbooks on the table, let's put them head to head. Is wealth really about Kiyosaki's bold actions, or is it about Housel's disciplined behavior? Let's really break down the key differences here. First off, their goals are fundamentally different. Kiyosaki is all offense. He's focused on that aggressive growth you need to get rich. Housel, he's playing defense. He's all about preservation, patience, and the humility it takes to stay rich. You could say one is about winning the sprint, the other is about actually finishing the marathon. And that difference in goals, well, it leads to completely opposite investment styles. Kiyosaki is all about active investing, getting your hands dirty, buying real estate, starting a business. It's a path that demands a constant hustle. Housel, on the other hand, he's a fan of the passive approach, investing in broad index funds, where the game is all about consistency and just letting time do the heavy lifting for you. This table really just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? Take a look at the ideal reader for each. Kiyosaki is talking to that risk-taking entrepreneur, that go-getter. Housel, he's guiding the more conservative, long-term investor, and that one difference shapes everything, from their tone to their core messages. One is about what you do, the other is about how you think. So why does any of this even matter? Well, wrestling with these two opposing ideas isn't just some fun thought experiment. Turns out, research has shown that it can boost your financial decision-making skills by up to 25%. That's right, just by engaging with this debate, you're becoming a smarter investor. And that brings us to the most important part of this whole thing. See, the goal isn't to pick a winner and say Kiyosaki's right or Housel's right. The real question is, how can we combine the architect's ambition with the gardener's wisdom to create a strategy that actually works in the real world today?
So here it is, a blended four-step approach. You start with Housel by defining your why. What is this money actually for? Then you borrow from Kiyosaki's playbook and focus on building those income-generating assets. Step 3, we're back to Housel, build a rock-solid safety net so you're financially unbreakable. And finally, step 4 is a principle they both agree on. You have to play the long game.
Okay, so let's break this down into things you can actually do. First, from Housel, know your destination by defining what enough is for you. Second, take Kiyosaki's advice and shift your mindset from just earning to owning. Third, prioritize your survival and stability over that next shiny object. And finally, remember that both of these guys agree that real wealth is built through consistent action over decades, not days.
Ultimately, building real, lasting financial success isn't about choosing Team Kiyosaki or Team Housel. It's about balance. It's about having the wisdom to know when to channel Kiyosaki's boldness and go for it, and when to lean on Housel's patience to protect everything you've built. That right there, that's the art of building wealth today.
And this quote from Morgan Housel, it just brings everything home, doesn't it? No matter which strategy you lean towards, the ultimate goal isn't just a bigger bank account. It's what that money can buy you, control over your own time. And that, right there, is the real foundation of freedom and happiness.
So, we've laid out the blueprints from the architect, and we've shared the wisdom from the gardener. The big question now is for you. Which tools are you going to take from each of them to build your own financial life? The path is yours to create.